Hello everyone. Welcome to Know Your Career by Letstute. Our today's guest is someone that a lot of you must have seen on your TV screens. Someone who's played a wide majority of roles. And someone who's been acting for over 15 years now. It's none other than actor Meghan Jadhav, who's going to give us an insight into the film industry and tell us what it's really like to be an actor. He's going to introduce us to a different world of acting that's hidden somewhere behind all that fame, glamour, and money. So, without further ado, let's get started with the podcast. Today we have with us Krishna from Jai Shri Krishna, Teenage David from Brothers, Govind from Tenali Rama, Kartike from Mahakali. Hello everyone, this is your host Swastiki Joshi, and today we have with us actor Meghan Jadhav. Meghan, thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
So, the first thing that I would like to ask you is when we approached you for this podcast, what was your initial thought?
Well, I was surprised
Yeah.
that I was approached by you people, and Letstute is strictly an educational platform. So I was surprised what else I can add to their platform. But then I realized that just like an educational institution, acting itself is an institution. So I realized I can actually provide my experience to the people who are aspiring to be an actor or people who want to come into this field in various different fields. So I looked at it very positively, and then I realized, no, I want to do this. Let's do this.
Yes. So, you have an amazing career as an actor, and you've had a very successful career. So, I want to ask how is your life as an actor going so far?
It's going amazing. Absolutely amazing. Actually, it's been a roller coaster ride, I can say. But yeah, it's been over 15, 16 years that I've been working in this industry. And I was literally a kid when I started. And when I look back, that all these years have passed, and after all these projects, when I look back, I feel good about myself. Okay, I have reached somewhere where I thought that I could be, that I want to be at some point in my life. But this is still, even after all these years, I still feel this is just a beginning for me. And I want to work in much bigger projects in the coming time. So yeah, it's been amazing so far.
I'm pretty sure that you will get all these big, amazing projects that you want. And like just like you, there are a lot of kids that are watching right now, and maybe a lot of them want to be an actor. Or maybe there might be people who watch this podcast and decide that they want to be an actor.
Yeah.
So for people like that, what would you say is acting? Basically, what does an actor do?
Acting is emoting, I can say. But to simplify it, I have two ways to look at it. One is where you are just expressing your feelings, and the kind of experience that you've had. It somehow you built it all over these years, and then you somehow express it. So you need to have this natural tendency to express it in front of the camera. If you are good at it, you can become an actor. The other way is method acting, is what we call, where you learn acting and then you have to read the lines and just emote it.
Hmm.
But in order to say it, to simplify it, I would say it's a combination of expressions that you learn all these years, over your growing up years, actually, because it's all about your life experience. So whatever you experience in life, it comes into your brain, and then you learn how to express it. So it's a combination of expressions, but it's not that easy also. But for people who have been doing over the years, it becomes like a bread and butter.
Yeah. So, like, did you always wanted to be an actor?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say I thought of becoming an actor, but ever since I was a kid, I grew up watching films like Harry Potter, Home Alone, High School Musical. So all these films, they kind of inspired me to become an actor, and all these child actors from those films be it Daniel Radcliffe from Harry Potter or Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone. When I looked at them, I had this inkling in my thoughts, okay, no, I want to act someday. Someday I want to see myself on screen. So I had that in the back of my head, but I was not keen, or I was not keenly looking to act. It just happened by fluke. It happened like, I was learning music at a music class, and suddenly a director walked in and he asked me, he, would you like to act? I was like, okay, I will. So come join a 3-day workshop. So I went to that workshop, and by the end of the third day, uh, the director introduced himself as the director of that movie, and he was like, we are selecting one person out of these 300 kids, and everybody had to audition, all the 300 kids. And when I auditioned, the director probably liked it. That's the reason he gave me a chance, and that's how I got selected among 300 kids, and I got my first project.
Which movie was that?
It was a Marathi movie
Hmm.
called Salam the Salute,
Okay.
and for that movie, I received a lot of nominations, a lot of awards in the Marathi film fraternity. So, so it was a fluke, I can say.
So, like after getting your first movie, did you like ever have a celeb moment, like, or maybe like a fan moment, or a moment like that you remember the most?
Well, after getting my first project, I wouldn't say I had like a celeb moment, because I wasn't a celebrity back then. I mean, I still wouldn't call myself a celebrity until I reached to a certain level. But yeah, after the first project, I did received a lot of praise for my performance. A lot of articles were being written for me. I received awards like Best Child Actor in that 2005 year. And after that, in fact, I wouldn't say that was my celebrity moment. Uh, I had a celebrity moment when I was doing this show called Jai Shri Krishna, where I was playing Krishna. So while it became an instant hit, that show became very popular. And when I was playing that role, I did not realize the importance of uh, audience love for that project. But when I was going outdoors for shooting, when I was going to the events, that's when I realized, okay, this is like when I saw the love of almost 10,000 people at once who were gathered for that event just to watch me, and just to see me there performing. So I was awestruck with that whole experience. And I remember there was this one time while playing Krishna, a lot of people used to come on the sets to visit us, to meet the actors. So there was this old lady who walked up to me, and she touched my feet while I was in the get-up. So at first I did not know what to do. I was like, what am I supposed to do now? Because when I was playing Krishna, I was any issues like acting in front of the camera. At that time, I did not think that people are going to think that he is the real Krishna. But for that lady, for that old lady, it was her belief that I was her Krishna. And in that moment, I had to make sure that I do not break her belief. So I had to be there, stand still, and let her do what she wanted to. She touched my feet, and she prayed to me for the well-being of everyone. So that was one moment, one special moment of my life. One fan moment of, I can say, I was being a fan of in that moment when I visited the sets of KBC, because we were doing this show called Saas Bina Sasural, and it was for Sony channel, and KBC was also for the same channel. So while promoting my show, we were invited in KBC, and that's when I realized, okay, I'm gonna meet Mr. Bachchan, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan sir. And when I went to the sets, when I saw him, I was awestruck by his aura, the way we grew up watching his films. Like we still watch his films, and even at this age, he's acting. So he's like a living god for us. But that was my fan moment. I went there, and that was the time when I touched his feet. So you see the circle of
It's a
life.
circle, yeah.
It's a circle of life. I touched his feet, and I was like, I'm so fortunate to have met you. So yeah, that was a very special moment.
So I feel like a lot of celebrities in India, like actors, are being worshipped. Like if you see in the South, like people worship Rajnikant,
Absolutely.
and even here, some people they tend to think that actors are how they act on screen. They don't realize the difference between real and real.
Yeah, they don't.
So that is the kind of impact that movies and
Movies and
actors leave on people. So from your experience, it kind of it proves that thing.
It proves that, yeah, actually,
Yes.
because even when we were kids, we used to watch movies, and we would look at these actors. Wow, they are so amazing, and so that's always been in our head that these are our living idols. We want to be like them. We look at them as idols. So that's how it is. But yeah, starting from my first project, my most uh, favorite top three projects, if you say.
Yeah.
I can say, well, first one was again this Jai Shri Krishna, where I got to play Krishna, and where I was fortunate to play Krishna. The second being Brothers. It was a project by Dharma Productions. It's renowned production, and Karan Johar is the producer of that company. So in that film, I got to play the teenage version of Akshay Kumar. It was once again a big moment for me, and to actually work in such big setup where you're working uh, in a setup like it's almost like a Hollywood film, because it's like a shift from TV to films. When you're doing that shift, you can realize how well it's been coordinated, how well the actors are being treated. I mean, it's not that actors are being treated bad, but in TV, but in TV it's more like a job, because it's every day it's a 9 to 9 job. It's 9 to 9 job. Every day you have to go to the sets, learn your lines, say your dialogues, and by the end of the day you are able to go home. And again, you have to come back tomorrow because we have to make new episodes. But in films, you get the liberty to actually create scenes out of like small moments, and it's not like TV at all. So the second one was again Brothers, because to work in such setup, in TV you work with I can say 60-70 people every day, but compared to that in films you work with 200 plus people, and to work in such setup it itself is a fortunate thing. So second one was that, and again third one I can say from two projects actually. One was Abhimanyu from Suryaputra Karan, and the other one was Kartikeya from Mahakali. That has been the most that project is very close to my heart, where I was playing the Senapati of the god.
Listening to your experience of Brothers, what do you like most? Like acting on TV or like acting in films?
Again, it's a very tricky question because I'm working in both the platforms, be it in TV or be it in films. But if I have to choose between the two, it's very difficult because TV, like whatever popularity that I've got so far, is from TV, and the whatever I'm passionate about is films, because I like in my everyday life I make sure that I watch one movie a day, and that's how I keep myself inspired. And this has been my routine for almost like 10 years, 10 more than 10 years. I watch one movie a day. I look at these actors like Tom Cruise or Hrithik Roshan, Shah Rukh Khan. These have been my inspiration. So I look at movies for inspiration, but so far I'm acting in TV serials. So, and that is paying me.
Yeah.
That is my bread and butter. So I don't want to choose between the two, because I don't want to lose out on any work. Again, that's a diplomatic question, but yeah, both have its own amazing experiences. In TV, I'll tell you the plus point is you work in a setup which goes on for over 6 months, or you can say 1 year. So it becomes like a family. You those 60, 70 people are like a family to you for that remainder of time. In films, films are being shot for 40 days, 50 days. So you are going there, of course, everyone is there to work professionally. But then again, in TV, whatever character that you're playing a son to a mother. So it becomes like an actual equation, like mother son on the sets. You start behaving like one. When it comes to working in films, films are these are like large scale projects, so they are being made on such a scale where you are like overwhelmed by looking at the whole setup. The kind of people that are there, the kind of creative people. Like when I was doing Brothers, the process began like it began with a small haircut that they had to do. They were like, we have to get your look fixed first, and so that you can look like that character. You can look like Teenage David. And after that, they gave me this mixed martial art training. So for which I was training for 2 straight weeks with some American people. So again, you're working with people who have worked in Hollywood films, films that you've watched so far. You're working with them, so it's an overwhelming situation for you. Wow, this is great. And then again, you get to work with Jackie Shroff, sir, Shefali Shah, ma'am. You have a director like Karan Malhotra, who has Agnipat to his name. So these are like extremely talented people, and you get to work with them. So it's like, deep inside your heart, you know it, but it's an overwhelming feeling, and it's you have to up your game. You can't you know you can't afford to mess it at any point. In TV, it's like, okay, you can take it a little bit casually, because where you stop, you can start again. But in films, you have to be on point all the time, because you're working with such talented people that you can't afford to mess. Yeah, but again, I have to add that a lot of people have this thinking that TV actors are not that great compared to films. But again, that's a very weird thing to hear, actually, because it's not that TV actors are any less talented than the films. Nowadays, of course, films have much bigger impact compared to TV. But in TV, you have to constantly be on toes, because you get your script early in the morning. You have to read it. You have to learn your lines, and then you have to deliver it. In films, you get your script 6 months prior to the shoot. You get a bounded script. You've been through that script way many times, before going to the sets. But in TV, you have to learn it. You have to say it, and it's not an easy task. Of course, the acting patterns are different. In films, it is more subtle. It is more natural. But in TV, it has to be a little dramatic. And why it has to be a little dramatic, there's a reason behind it. A film is a 2-hour project, but TV, you have a TV show going on for, let's say, 6 months, a year. But in order to let it go, keep going, you have to keep your audience hooked, and for that you need drama. So you have to be a little dramatic when it comes to acting in TV. You can't be like so subtle compared to film. So that there are two different factors.
So, what would you say? Is it more difficult to get into films, or is it more difficult to get into TV?
It's again a difficult question, because anything can happen by a fluke. You can get into films, you can get into TV shows. Like even after doing my first project, I remember this one incident where I was standing. I was waiting for my dad. Uh, I was supposed to meet him somewhere, and I was standing in the street. So somewhere there was this taxi which came and it stopped. A person just got down and he came up to me. He's like, "आपको acting करनी है क्या? Would you like to act?"
This is the second time.
This is the second time, yeah.
Okay.
Would you like to act again? Yeah.
Yeah, by a fluke.
So by a fluke. So and I was like, yeah, I'm an actor. Like I recently did a movie. So it's like, yeah, okay. Why don't you come to this address and we'll meet you there? And the director would like to meet. And that's how I got my second film. So it wasn't like, and before that I was going to a lot of film auditions, but it was not happening. And this happened. Like so sometimes things can happen in any ways for you. If it's meant to happen, it will happen. But when it comes to TV has become more competitive these days. A lot of new actors are coming in the industry. A lot of models are coming in the industry. So a TV show is much easier to get into compared to films because, like I mentioned earlier, the kind of standard that they expect, the kind of acting standards that they expect in films are much higher than in TV because of its content. Because films are content driven and serials are like, you can act in serials. Even these days, a lot of models have come into TV. So to answer to your question, I would say TV is a little bit easier than films.
So as you said, like models have started coming into TV.
Yeah.
So has it become much difficult, like compared to before? So a lot of people think that looks are preferred over talent in the industry. So how much would you say that is true?
In TV, it is true. Yeah, it is true. Because, like I said, a lot of models have also started coming in TV. In TV, what happens is, you want to look at a good face. You want to keep looking at them so that you can watch their episodes. So, not that I'm saying that I'm a good-looking face or anything, but yeah, the models especially. You have a good-looking girl in the TV show, so you can garner your audience that way, and you can catch it on that. So it has changed a bit for people who are thoroughly want to just act. A lot of people who just want to act, who have been like working hard to get into serials, they don't get the chance. But the people who are good looking, or the people who are models, they get the chance. So again, it's not a part of nepotism, but yeah, a lot of such thing does happen where a lot of good looking face takes over a genuine actor. I mean, I have lost out on such projects too. But I'm like, okay, he's tall and handsome. That's the reason he got the job. Something like that.
I think like things have come to a serious note over here. So how about we play a game?
Okay.
Since you're an actor, we can do something that's related to emotions, expressions. As you said, acting is emoting.
Of course.
Right? So for the game, tell me your 3 favorite actors.
Number 1, Hrithik Roshan. I admire him the most. Second is Shah Rukh Khan, and third is Amir Khan.
So now I want you to mimic all 3 of them, like dialogues by them. First is Hrithik.
I can't do all 3, but I can definitely do Hrithik. Because Hrithik's voice has been my favorite part of mimicking. I can say a dialogue from his one of his very epic movie called Jodha Akbar. शरीफुद्दीन, अगर तुम बख्शी बानो के शौहर नहीं होते तो ये भाला तुम्हारी जिस्म के पार होता.
Nice.
There's another one from Bang Bang. एक दिन क्या होता है, जो करना है आज करना है. मैं तो घर से यही सोच के निकलता हूँ कि ये मेरी जिंदगी का आखिरी दिन है. I don't know. That came out right.
So since you're not doing all 3 actors, now I want you to do one thing.
What?
You have to say the first dialogue in every emotion that I tell you.
Okay.
So you said it angrily. Now I want you to say it romantically. So
Oh boy. Okay. Romantically.
yeah.
शरीफुद्दीन, अगर तुम बख्शी बानों के शौहर नहीं होते तो ये भाला तुम्हारी जिस्म के पार हो.
Now
That was a very bad dialogue.
sad.
Oh boy. शरीफुद्दीन, अगर तुम बख्शी बानों के शौहर नहीं होते ना, तो ये भाला तुम्हारे जिस्म के पार होता.
Okay. Shocked.
Okay. ये बहुत difficult है. It's a very difficult task. शरीफुद्दीन, अगर तुम बख्शी बानों के शौहर नहीं होते तो ये भाला तुम्हारे जिस्म के पार होता.
So now let's have a rapid fire round.
Okay.
I'll ask you a few questions and you have to answer those. Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? It has to be Friends.
Favorite Friends character?
Ross.
Favorite Harry Potter movie?
Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Marvel or DC?
Difficult but Marvel.
Theater or OTT?
Theater as in play?
No. Like
Okay.
watching movies in
Theater.
theater.
Always. I would pay any amount of money to watch a movie in a big screen. You know, in fact, I have a big screen at my place. So when I got my first check, I like not when I was a kid, when I grew up recently, I made it a point that I would have a big screen at my place. So I went to an electronic shop and I bought one of the biggest TV that is possible, which will fit into my living room. And I bought the home theater system, and that's why I wanted my living room to become like a theater. And then that's what my favorite Tom Cruise also did.
Okay.
You know, when he became an actor, and he did not buy a car, he did not buy a house, but he bought the biggest TV set at that time in 1980s,
Okay.
which was available at that time. He bought the biggest TV screen.
Okay. So you've also done a lot of mythological characters and a few family dramas as well. So what do you like most?
Both actually, you know. I enjoy doing mythological characters. Like I love playing the warrior god. I love playing Krishna. But at the same time, it is also good to feel light-hearted. To not have to wear all these jewelry and costume, and just wear normal shirt and pants and work. So I like social dramas as well.
So that's it for part 1, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And we have a part 2 coming up very soon. Until then, if you have any questions, let us know in the comment section below. Till then, keep learning and keep growing with Letstute.